We've seen that the ancient world differentiated between demonic influence and physical and mental illness. In fact, the gospel writer who writes the most about demons is Luke the doctor. So in Mark 5, these evil spirits are plaguing a man with powerful fits of violence. Often in scripture, demons attack the image of God in humanity by causing physical harm. So this guy's gashing himself with stones, and he had been chained, but he kept breaking out of the bonds. Oh, you're still here?
I've not been able to move since chapter 2.
Oh, okay. Do you want a peanut bar?
Sure. Thank you.
So, when Jesus arrives, the demons beg him not to cast them out. They say, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God?" So the demons knew who Jesus was, which helps us understand how Mark is grouping his stories. Remember, when Jesus calmed the storm, the disciples asked, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." The storm, in a sense, knew who Jesus was. And now this legion of demons knew who he was and responded accordingly. There's a sense in which he's asking us, if even waves and demons respond to his voice, will you? So they beg Jesus to send them into a herd of pigs. Jesus agrees, and when he casts them out, they possess the pigs and drive them into the lake. The people who tended the pigs ask Jesus to leave the area. No one wants the price of bacon to go up. The man who had been healed of his demons asks if he can go with Jesus. But Jesus says, "Go to your home and to your people, and tell them what the Lord has done for you, that he had mercy on you." So the man goes back to his hometown and spreads the word about God through these Gentile lands. In the next story, Jesus is approached by a synagogue ruler who was a lay leader in charge of maintaining the building and orchestrating the schedule and things of that nature. He comes urgently because his young daughter is dying. Jesus responds to his faith and heads off toward the house. So they're pressing through the crowds and they get interrupted by another burdened person. This woman has a condition that has caused her to bleed for 12 years. It could be menorrhagia or VWD or something like that, but she's probably anemic. She'd been to many different doctors and tried different treatments, which probably would have included wine and powder concoctions made of onions and flowers. But now she's reaching out to Jesus secretly and shamefully, hoping that a touch of his robe will heal her. The belief in his power heals her of the disease. Jesus feels the power go out from him, and he says, "Who touched me?" The disciples scoff at him because they're in a crowd, it could have been anyone. But the woman steps forward and fearfully confesses that she was the one who touched him. Her condition would have made her ceremonially unclean according to the Mosaic law. But Jesus wasn't angry and didn't try to shame her. His tender response is, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your disease." But now people from the synagogue ruler's house come up to Jesus. Jesus was too late. The daughter was dead. We can imagine the anguish this man must be going through, but Jesus encourages him to believe and not give up hope. Jesus wants that concrete experience to develop trust that he can and will do something like that again. So they get to the house and the grief process has begun, but Jesus says the child has not died but is asleep. Of course, he's speaking figuratively to say this isn't the end, she will arise from death. And he takes the girl's hands and says, "Little girl, get up." And the girl wakes up. She's alive and their minds are blown. So that concludes the section where Mark groups together 4 stories that show Jesus' power over nature, demons, disease, and death. These stories are woven together to drive us to the question, who is this man and how will I respond to him?